Not together lah. You confusing
first
together. Welcome to the third episode of the Hot Sauce and Players podcast, you gonorrhea-stricken gondolas. My name is Shak. To my left, we have Zan.
Hello.
And to his left, we have Syam.
Hello.
So how you guys doing this week?
Good.
The week. We're coming into 2022, almost the end of January.
Yes.
January, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. This recording date is end of January lah. For
23rd.
you guys don't know, we don't going to release it, but yep. So anything happening for 2022 for you guys?
Prosperity Burger.
Yeah. Prosperity Burger right after this.
So it's been out for 3 days. I haven't tried it yet. It's something I always look forward to. Have you?
For those who don't know, Prosperity Burger is a Chinese New Year specialty burger that is released here promotionally in conjunction with Chinese New Year, of course.
Yeah.
In Singapore, what is it about the Prosperity Burger that you guys like? Because I'm not a big fast food person. I don't really eat fast food that much. I mean, okay lah. To me, right, Samurai Burger and Prosperity Burger, they're like the same thing.
No, they're not
okay,
the same.
I know they don't taste the same.
Racist.
But it's the
Japanese and Chinese the same, you know.
Okay.
The base of the gravy is the same.
To give Shak some credit, it's actually the same. So basically, the bun is the same, the patty is the same, the bottom bun is the same. Then you have what?
Onions. We have onions in
Yeah,
all
you
of
have
them.
onions.
No, both
No, onions is only for Prosperity Burger.
For
And Prosperity Burger's sauce is actually black pepper, while Samurai Burger's sauce is mayonnaise and teriyaki sauce. Yeah.
Is it teriyaki?
Yeah, teriyaki sauce.
Okay, but no, my argument is that, right,
Yeah.
the teriyaki sauce and black pepper sauce, right, they come from the same base. You just add the flavoring to make the thing different. But if you look back, but if you taste, right, they taste similar, but you can tell one is definitely teriyaki, one is black pepper. But if you maybe like search within your soul taste buds, right, you can. I don't know. I feel they are from the same base. It's like, imagine you have one stock pot, right, from the same gravy, but then you like put into 3 different. You want to make 3 different sauces. Use the same stock pot. Add flavoring to each one to get a different sauce.
Wait, when you say base, what does it mean?
Like come from the same base. Macam how like example chicken stock. For example, right, you want to put chicken stock, right? You want to have like okay, maybe I give you an example. Okay, you know the chicken rice at Syam?
Not me.
Okay, imagine chicken rice. Okay, typical chicken rice shop, right? Some the newer ones they have the Thai chili chicken rice. They have a lemon sauce chicken rice. They have the traditional chicken rice. So take the base of the sauce, right, as the chicken rice itself. But what you put on top to change the flavor. That's how I feel that's a different.
My argument
I see.
is that one is chicken rice. It's different.
Yeah.
It's the same. Like everything else, technically, if you say stock, like Malay food, right? You
Correct,
say this is
yeah.
curry, and then you just add more belacan. Or you add, so it
becomes something else.
Curry
Yeah.
and belacan.
No.
I mean, like think about how you make
Okay.
the what do you call how you make the sauce or you make the curry in a way, or the curry
Okay.
lauk in a way.
Okay.
So if it's like say the same, I'm okay with it. If it's the same, it's just it's like. Since we're talking about music, it's kind of like the EQ is a bit different. It makes it special.
Oh man,
Same instrument, same player,
but the mixing is different.
The
mastering is different.
Sikit some a bit more black pepper, some lesser, more teriyaki.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
From the same
It's sedap
base.
I see. So it's almost like the same band playing,
Yeah.
but then it's just a different mixing engineer mixing the thing.
and the little touch, different producer and all that stuff.
Bro, what a segue, man.
Yeah, very nice.
And that has been the hot sauce
Yeah.
for today. No lah.
Thank you.
So this is the official 3rd episode, so
Wow.
4th episode in production. Last episode we talked about long air songs.
Yes.
So this was actually the result of Zan here introducing to us "Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner" by Iron Maiden, which was a 30-minute song, and somehow we talked about long air songs.
Yeah.
And then we gave some example of long air songs that we know about.
Yes.
And that has been the research. The topic of today for this episode, which we're gonna look into 2 songs. One is "The Decline" by NOFX, and "A Little Piece of Heaven" by Avenged Sevenfold. Okay.
Yeah.
So before we go into the songs individually, right?
Yeah.
What has been your approach to listening to these 2 songs for you guys?
Okay, can I start first?
Go ahead.
So for me, right, I didn't listen to the live ones. I took the song listening from the Spotify ones, because I just want to see how the studio recording is. It's kind of it's very tedious because both of the songs are very long. So if you take 20 plus 8, you get 28 minutes. And then let's say for me, right, I like to listen to 2 passes just listening to the song, and then another 2 passes with my bass or maybe with a chord chart just to see how harmonically different they are or whatsoever, right? So it's like 28 times 4 is.
Wow.
Sorry, again I left my maths back in the classroom.
One football match.
1 hour plus. 1 hour plus.
102.
102 minutes of my life.
Yeah. So
Actually well spent. Yeah.
The Decline is on Spotify is an 18-minute song.
Yeah.
18 minutes. Yeah. And then Little Piece of Heaven is 8 minutes. Yeah, on Spotify. Yeah. So you basically went through 4 passes of each song.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay. And then how about you, Syam?
I
do?
know I did. I think I went at least 2 or 3 times.
Per song?
I mean, okay, because I've been listening to The Decline for quite some time already, so I didn't know the song already. So Little Piece of Heaven was new for me.
Okay.
So when you guys talk about it, like last episode, I was just like,
Okay,
I don't know
okay,
anything
okay.
about it. I just know it's a long song.
Okay.
So I listened to it live. I listened to the 2 versions. One is the one that we have in our homework, which is the live at what is it? London, is it?
LBC.
LBC.
LBC is Long Beach, California.
California.
Yeah.
Okay, then the other one was I think it was in London or in Rock and Ring.
Red Rock.
Yeah, it
The
was
one you showed us, right?
No. It was in 2011 or 2013.
Are you talking about Little Piece of Heaven?
That was a
Oh, okay. So you said to 2 live versions.
2 live versions.
Oh, okay.
Just to kind of like get a sense of like
Okay.
how the song is.
Okay.
So that's I don't know whether I counted. It's definitely like 3 or 4 times. Yeah.
Okay. Each.
No,
all together.
Total, I think like 2 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Then the Decline is like I've already
Okay.
like I shared to you guys first.
Yeah. So this all started because you shared with us a video of the Decline with the orchestra with
yeah.
basses, orchestra. Yeah. At Red Rock. And why did you show us that video in the first place? I forgot already. How did you get to there?
I think we were waiting for our food to come.
Yeah, this was after the first episode.
Yeah.
And we went to this room, and then somehow
We started eating.
I think because
we
we didn't get a chance to talk about Iron Maiden.
right.
We cut short.
Well, then we talking about long songs basically.
Somehow I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
And then I shared about by the way, this is a song by
Okay.
NOFX.
Okay.
Yeah, which is a long song.
Did we talk? Were we talking about 16 beats?
Because if I want to listen to like 1.5 minutes of 16 beats, it's like I just listen to this band. But if you look at that band, the whole album is there. Like what for, yeah? You know?
Who are we talking about
You
now?
get what I
You're
mean?
laughing like crazy.
I cannot see that band.
Yeah.
That also
I think
no.
it
was combination.
it's a combination of like punk bands only play 16
Okay, I
beats.
want to talk about a bit about that later. So actually,
Okay. So that's how about you, Shak?
For me, I listen mostly in transit actually. I think only the past 2 days, right? I listen transit on Spotify.
Oh.
It was very long. What do you mean?
I mean if my bus ride is like 20 minutes, I listen to the Decline. Then like my bus ride is like 8 minutes.
No, because for me, go to work, right, is I think altogether from leaving the house to getting to my office chair, right, is around half an hour.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so it's a bit hard. I mean, okay, I admit it's a bit hard, right? When you're in transit, you don't really pay attention to the song so much, especially when in the morning, right? You look through like your social media, that kind of shit.
True.
But I think I paid more attention to watching the live versions. One thing I didn't do, right, for the Decline, actually for both songs, I did not really look into the lyrics this time around.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out on my own, like so like this morning, right, I was actually doing chores a lot, like cleaning my room, ironing all that shit, while listening to the songs. I was trying to figure out what the themes of the songs were. I didn't really look into the lyrics. I think it's something I need to ask you later because it's your song. So Decline is actually your song. So Little Bit of Heaven is my song, and you don't really. Do you listen to any of these songs before?
I listened to A Little Bit of Heaven before this in JC.
Okay.
Which was like 10 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So but then listening to this song again right now, right, it gives a different perspective.
Okay,
Man.
2012. I think it was A Little Bit of Heaven is around that time, 2012.
No,
if I'm not wrong.
actually, if you say 2012, then it'll be like 13 years ago. Okay, I'm not that young anymore. Shit, sorry.
Wait, 2012 is 10 years ago. Now it's 2022.
Yeah, so it's 13 years ago. Means I listened to it in 2008 or 2009.
Is it?
Yeah.
Was that long ago?
Yeah, it was that long ago,
2008.
man.
Wait,
Yeah.
so it was released. Maybe we can talk about the details.
Yeah, we can. I
It was
thought-
A Little Piece of Heaven. We start first.
Okay, start with that first. How should we go about this? Just talk about it. Okay, so I'll start first. So I got into Avenged Sevenfold. Okay, I didn't. Do you talk about it in the last episode? I can't remember. How I got into Avenged
Oh, yeah,
Sevenfold.
you did. You said that you went for the gig and then you
yeah.
didn't listen to A Little Piece of Heaven.
And then like
Yeah,
when
yeah.
they played live, it's like whoa, suddenly.
No, but before that, like how I got to start listening to
MTV.
Okay, I talk about that.
Yeah, you
Okay,
talk
so I won't
about
talk
it.
about it so much.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, so you know
Or
about
you
that.
you give them the TLDR version.
Okay, TLDR. I got into Avenged Sevenfold because at that point in time there was TRL, MTV, MTV TRL. Sorry, in the US. Guest, whereby it's like a half-hour variety show where guests come into the MTV building and then with the audience all there interview and all that stuff. So there was this period of time, right, where MTV started to introduce underground underrated bands. So at the point of time, right, MTV TRL or MTV in general was very flooded with pop punk artists on the band side lah. Like Fall Out Boy, MCR, Paramore, Good Charlotte. So they asked these artists, right, to bring over an artist whom is like kind of under the radar, people don't know about, but they are still worth talking about. So Good Charlotte decided to bring in Avenged Sevenfold in the studio. I didn't know, they didn't bring first. They asked MTV to play an Avenged Sevenfold music video during the segment itself, and they played Bad Country. Right, I watched them like what the hell is this music? Like them punk, them a bit core but metal, them like wow. It was like wasn't the typical stuff like Fall Out Boy. It was something different.
Heavy,
heavy. I mean,
What would you classify Avenged Sevenfold as in terms of genre?
at that point of time, a bit metalcore. They're quite metalcore at the point. That City of Evil album is metalcore. Yeah, but what? And then after that, I believe that City of Evil album. And then when they released the next album after that, right, it was the self-titled Avenged Sevenfold. I think that was a couple of years later. I felt it was a bit butt rock-ish, a bit more metal than metalcore. I didn't have that. I don't know. At the point of time, I think I veered quite a bit to the core side. Yeah, so it felt a bit butt rock-ish. And then the way they were dressed also like a bit butt rock, to be honest. You see the music videos like Almost Easy, Afterlife.
That was like 2004, 2005.
No, I think 7, 8 already.
Okay.
If I'm not wrong, 7, 8 already.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between like something like metal on its own and then with the core elements? I believe I asked you this before, but I forgot.
I think core, to put it simply, core is anything which has the breakdown feel to it.
Okay.
Anything with breakdown. So like at the point of time, okay, metalcore would be stuff like Asking Alexandria. Oh my god! And then we have stuff like what's that band? Escape the Fate. There's a bit more post-hardcore. Yeah. So I feel like core is usually something. It can be classified in two categories actually. Look, the
And the
emo bangs kind of things.
meaning the
image
the
lah,
image, the look, and then the sound itself. So maybe like a bit whiny vocals.
Really?
Or like Escape the Fate. Sitting in a room in a Russian roulette. That kind of shit. I don't want to. I just don't think of kind of mind. Yeah, yeah. And then some screamos are.
The breakdowns are.
And the breakdowns also.
Means breakdowns meaning to say like the halftime stuff.
Correct. Halftime breakdown, we hit bang and all that shit. So yep. Avenged Sevenfold, did they have? I think they have a couple of that, but they weren't really. I think what's good about them, right? They're kind of evergreen compared to other bands. Because the other bands, right, were actually leading so much into the breakdown and core stuff.
Yeah.
But Avenged Sevenfold, right? They evolve. They really evolve. Like next album became metal. I mean, it wasn't my thing at the point of time, but they have evolved quite a lot. So like, I think back then, right, it was a bit of. I think the first two albums. So I think City of Evil was a third or second full length. I can't remember. But the first album was really metalcore. It was the production was a bit shitty because it was still new and all that shit. But then City of Evil, they had a bit more punk stuff, a bit more heavy metal stuff. Yeah, and then now it is. I don't listen to Avenged Sevenfold now because I'm not a big fan of it. But I feel like they're more heavy rock ish when they're doing drummer.
I after the Diamonds in the Rough album, I don't think I listened to Avenged
Diamonds in the Rough is the first album, dude.
Diamonds in the Rough? No, that's the last, right? Check the discography.
Okay,
Okay, wait, we are doing some research now.
Zan, take over the chat.
So I'm going to talk about Avenged Sevenfold. Okay, so
Actually, going a bit into it. Actually, what do you ask about like the difference between the core and like what's core and what's not?
why do I ask?
Yeah,
Because
it's just something
like
that you
like you know how simple stuff are like let's say you talk about metal, right? And then metal will be okay like Iron Maiden, that kind of thing, right? And then suddenly when you talk about metalcore, you suddenly talk about Avenged Sevenfold. Is Bullet for My Valentine metalcore? Because they have breakdowns, right? And they have like the screams.
I think I would say they are metalcore.
That's the reason why I always feel like, what's the underlying difference between something that does not have the core and something that has a core? Yeah.
okay.
Or core.
Parkour is parkour.
Core.
Okay, so what's the
The
first one is
Why did you bring the alkalates? Okay, discography. So there was okay. Sorry, I had to burp. First album by Avenged Sevenfold, Sounding the Seventh Trumpet.
Okay.
Then Waking the Fallen.
Okay.
Then City of Evil.
Uh-huh.
Then Avenged Sevenfold self-titled. Then Nightmare. Then Hail to the King. And then The Stage.
Where's the Diamonds in the Rough one?
I think it's a live album, eh.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, wait. Live at Grammy. Oh, so there's this compilation. It's a compilation. Live in the LBC and Diamonds in the Rough is a dual release.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So after that, I stopped listening to them.
Live in the LBC and Diamonds in the Rough is the first live DVD compilation album by heavy metal band Avenged Sevenfold, released in
2008. Okay.
Okay. But then
So technically, I stopped listening to them when they released their self-titled album,
okay,
right?
okay.
I'm sorry, guys.
because that's when the ref passed away. Because after that the ref passed away, because the next album 2010, right, is the ref is not there anymore.
Okay.
Okay. Nightmare.
How shortly was the next album?
So Avenged Sevenfold was 2007. Nightmare is 2010.
3 years.
Oh, 3
years. Yeah, before that was like around 2 years. Actually, each album before that was 2 years each.
Then it's just
Yeah, and because if I'm not wrong, right, Nightmare, right, the album, they had Mike Portnoy, the drummer from Dream Theater,
Oh, shit,
to
really?
drum. Yeah.
Okay. How small was his kid?
I'll say, wait, have you seen the Rest kit? It's quite big also, eh. The Rest kit is humongous, dude.
But Mike Portnoy's kid is even bigger in
No,
Dream Theater,
I
right?
think he just downsized a bit to Rest size. It's not that much of a reduction.
Okay.
Not much of a reduction.
So instead of 2 postal codes, it's just 1 postal code.
It's not that much. It's not quite big also. If you saw the live, you didn't watch the live video, right? But I saw live video, right? His kid fucking huge, right? I mean,
it's not as big as the American one.
that one's worse. That one, not say worse. That one's huge as fuck.
That one cannot even see, I mean, like, as a
you can't see the drummer.
you know, I had to like,
Yeah. Okay, what's my point?
Wait. Hold on. Since it's a drumming thing, right? Shak, what is the advantage of having a bigger drum set as compared to a smaller one? And what's the advantage of having a smaller drum set to a bigger drum set, in your opinion?
Bigger drum set definitely means more options, more sounds you can play with. Basically, you have different surfaces to hit with. Different surfaces means you can tune each surface to sound different. So imagine like so the typical drum set, right, has 5 pieces you can hit: the bass drum, the snare drum, 1 rag tom, 2 rag tom, then floor tom. Like you see over there, but that one got additional rag tom, floor tom. Yeah. So someone told me before, right? Let's say imagine a typical progression is like 4 chords, right? If let's say the band plays at 4 chords very often, you can tune each part of the kit according to those 4 chords. So when you have progression, it sounds nicer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understand.
Yeah. So basically more surfaces. The con, that's a pro. So the con about that, the disadvantage about that is that imagine you're a traveling band, right? And you have a technician, it just takes more time to set up.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's a bitch to set up. And basically you need more cargo space to transport the stuff also. Unlike in Singapore, whereby most venues, right, have their own drum set already. In other countries, if I know correctly, I don't know about Asian countries, but I know for European countries, right, the bands when they're traveling, they go to a pub venue or whatever, they have to bring their own backline,
Yeah.
drums and all that. Yeah, so like there are some like venues who say, we got our own drum set already. You don't bring your own drum set, sure. When you go to the venue, right, drum sets like maybe they got tear, rusted all over. I know there's some memes about that lah.
Yeah, then there are some who have no cymbals on
Correct. Yeah, so that's the con about that. And also when you transport, right, there's also additional costs when you want to fuel. There's one.
Yeah.
The kind of carrying case, protection case when bringing your stuff around. You need a bulky ass what's that thing called again?
Luggage.
Hard case.
Okay.
Yeah, hard case. Oh, is that a technical term for hard case?
I think it is a hard case.
Just hard case, right?
I don't think it's. I mean, flight cases are meant to be.
Flight case.
But it's more protective, right? The
Yeah,
flight
correct.
cases,
Because like pure wood with metal frames.
metal frames. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's damn heavy. And then imagine loading that. And then when you have a small crew, right? Definitely more crew to bring the thing around up and down from the, let's say, from the van to the loading area to the stage and all that shit.
Yeah.
And then beforehand you need to tune each drum also, because when you like every time after the show, right, the drums will detune and all that.
Yeah.
So you need to tune again.
So more maintenance.
More maintenance, definitely more maintenance. Buying heads to maintain also. There's this famous, I don't know whether some drummers remember this, but Chad Smith from Red Hot Chili Peppers, his drum tech said, right, he needs to go through at least 2 heads per show.
Huh? For snares?
Did you say for snares? I think for snares yeah.
Oh,
At least snare if it's like a tom Kichus
yeah, man.
But at least like
Was it for everything? No, I think it was for snare. I think it was for snare. Yeah,
Should be for the snare, right?
Yeah, should be for the, I hope it's not saying for everything.
Yeah,
There'll be a bitch, Yeah.
Shak, when you say you tune the drums to the 4 chords that the band often use, you mean the notes that they use, like the scale? Is it something like that?
Something like that.
Like your root, third and fifth.
Something like that. I assume so. Yeah.
Okay.
I did not actually like venture much into this because I'm thinking like, if the band keeps playing the all same 4 chords, right?
Yeah.
That's boring, man.
Yeah,
If you are stuck in that loop.
Imagine Dream Theater, right? Their one song they change so many keys, right? Then don't tell me they want to change the key, right? They have to change the drum.
You usually see like guitar changes. Now it's like drum changes. Like
Correct. But it's actually, I think it's sonically pleasing if the drums were more in tune with the other instruments. Yeah. I would assume so lah. And then the advantage of a small kit is easier to set up.
Yep.
I feel like having a smaller kit, right, makes the drummer less complacent. So you find out more ways to actually be creative around your kit with the limited number of space you have.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like I realized this, like, I'm not bashing on people who play 5-string bass, right? You can have lower notes, but then if you're playing a 4-string bass, right, then after that you want to get like maybe a low F. If you have a 5-string bass, you can just move up 1 fret.
Yeah.
But if you're playing a 4-string bass, you actually have to move up all the way to the first fret if you're playing somewhere higher up. It's more work, but I think sometimes all these limitations will help you become creative, right?
Correct. Like I think when I first started playing drums, right, I had the typical 2 rec tom setup. Then I don't know why I started seeing like almost everywhere, right, had only 1 rec tom. Then I thought let's try just playing 1 rec tom. And I feel like at that point now I was covering a lot of Blink-182 stuff. So then I had to learn play 1 rec tom and learn playing faster. I guess it somehow made me play better at that point of time. Yeah.
So sometimes it's up to preference and your influence as well.
Correct, it's up to preference and influence. I mean, have you seen? I mean, okay, you're the jazz guy here, right? You've seen jazz drummers among all of us, You've seen jazz drummers with big kids, small kids, right?
Yeah. But then
what do you notice? What's the trend between the big kid, small kid? What's the difference?
Wow, I think the people who play with the small kid, right? I don't know. I just feel like they are more, because of the restriction, right? They tend to be a bit more musical in terms of the note choices. Like they can make 1 snare drum, right, sound like 10 different things because of how they contact the snare drum.
Because of the limitation lah.
Yeah. So because of that, right, then they will try to change. You know, when you press the snare drum and then you hit and then it changes
like
the
you
note.
detune the snare a bit for that moment.
Then like even like
a whammy bar lah, basically.
Something like that. Then after that they have like the big ass right cymbal that they use. Then they use different parts of the right cymbal and then you can hear different sounds.
Correct.
So I think having a small kit, like what Shak says, I agree with him, because it forces you to think a bit more with what limitations you have. Yeah, as compared to like, I got another cymbal I can just hit it. Yeah.
Like the first people who actually started doing double bass drums, right, were jazz drummers.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
correct.
shit.
I forgot the names, but I remember. So like, what's the most famous? What's that guy again? Buddy Rich. Buddy Rich wasn't the first. But there was another guy before him. I forgot the name. Bellum. His surname is Bellum. I forgot. Lenny Bellum. I research again. But so there was a competition between him and a couple of people, see who gets the biggest kit, whatever. Okay. So one by one, because initially it was just so when drums first started out, right, there was the bass and snare. Because brief history on drum set, very fast one.
Okay.
Drum set came about because during the I keep forgetting, Civil War or
what? Okay.
Or World War One. So in America, it's in America. Civil War or the British. When the British came, what was it called again? When the British attacked. The USA got so many wars.
The British attacked America?
Yeah, back then, or colonized America. Then the South attacked back. I forgot if it's Civil War or not in the US. So basically, right, there was still some apartheid racism going on, right? So the black people couldn't carry arms, so they were relegated to become the people who rallied the soldiers in battle, like play the snare, play the music, all that shit.
Oh yes.
When the war ended, they had no jobs. Right,
okay.
So they tried to make their living becoming musicians.
Okay.
So the percussionists there, right? So the percussions during this wartime period was just bass, drum, tung 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 tung, and snare drum, rata rata, all that shit. So performers, right, had to try to learn how to incorporate both of them playing the same setting.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's where first, like most basic setup, right, have a big ass snare drum, bass drum, and then snare drum, tung tung tung. There's no kick pedal, nothing, no hi-hat. There was just basically these two. And then slowly with so cymbals, it's not an American thing. Cymbals mostly came from Turkey and China, if I'm not wrong. So immigrants started introducing their own instruments.
But they had the band thing, right, where they smack the two cymbals together.
Right. Okay, so I think you might be right. Correct. So there's yeah.
So what you're trying to say, Shak, is that last time people play drums with one only
Correct,
the snare,
correct.
only the bass,
Correct,
only the cymbal.
correct.
Yeah.
So all came together lah.
All came together, and then they started adding to us. So like say from China, right? They had these like small Chinese drums, like I've got what it's called. Yeah, small Chinese drums, and then suddenly started incorporating the pedal. I think I forgot the guy from Ludwig, if I'm not wrong, or Gretsch. I think Ludwig. He invented the kick pedal. Yeah.
I think I remember the first kick pedal was just like two wood things together, and then there's like a beater, and then they just
Correct. And then some of them last time I got a small cymbal attached to the beater as well, so you can hit the
That was like the experimental phase.
Yeah, I think experimental.
and then so because of all these contraptions, that's what they call it. All these things together become one contraption. They call it the traps drums. From the word contraptions.
Traps drum.
Yeah, trap drum.
So now
Trap drum.
not to be confused with
Yeah,
the
trap,
drum
No, it's not.
nowadays.
Yeah, different. So that's why you call it trap drum. So everything a drum set come together, right? That's not a drum set. That's trap drums. Really.
This one is like, that one not. This is a TRS. This one is not. It's like, what is a trap drum?
I think I learned this right. I watched Daniel Glass. So Daniel Glass is this American big band drum educator.
Okay.
So he had this YouTube channel. He actually created a whole documentary.
nice.
Like
I gotta watch that, man.
correct. So the history of the drum set is very tied to the history of America itself.
Nice.
Can we put the links?
Yeah,
down
we'll
there?
put a link.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
Daniel
that one
Glass.
still hasn't. We haven't added the toms yet. That was still like
Oh,
snare.
so the first tom right was actually one of these Chinese drums. The one like with skin on top, like the traditional tribal drum.
The small ones.
Yes, correct. They put on top, and they I think what other countries also. So there were immigrants coming from China, Middle
Interesting.
East, Asia.
So slowly
What else?
bit by bit.
Mediterranean.
Yeah.
So there were like small castanets, all the small stuff.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Daniel Glass in the video he got different parts, so you actually talk about that as you gradually go along. Yeah, and then the basic. The first. So like if you had to say that war music, right, or marching music was the first genre for when it comes to drum. The second one, right, is ragtime.
Okay.
Ragtime. So to explain what ragtime is, ragtime is like when you watch old cartoons, Mickey Mouse cartoons.
Okay.
Yeah, the basic. I think what they
Jingles.
here. Yes.
Kind of like the start of.
Correct. And that one is very straight feel. 1 2 1 2. It's for people to dance with.
Okay.
You can definitely talk about, because we can definitely talk about this in the future episodes.
Yeah,
because
yeah, sure.
it's kind of like how music itself evolved.
Yeah, man. Let's talk
Like,
about the
like
evolution of music.
from my point of view, right? If you think about it, like from video or for film lah, it's like usually they have cinemas with an orchestra or cinemas with like music.
Oh yeah,
thing.
dude. Yeah.
Then it slowly evolved into like, okay,
Yeah.
this is from theater, and then slowly became like live music, and then slowly become like digital and whatnot.
I
So
mean,
kind of like the
that's
process.
the reason why there's this sort of loosely named genre called big band. Because last time it used to be one freaking
Correct,
big orchestra,
correct.
then they slowly condense.
Correct.
Then now we have like a 5-piece band, right?
Correct.
The history of the electric guitar is also tied to big band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the history of the electric bass, which is even younger than the electric guitar.
Is it?
Yeah, it's also tied to big band.
That's why
Yeah.
use a big bass.
I have
stuff.
one question before like we.
Yeah, I forgot what I was going at that point actually. Shit. Yeah.
What about the hi hat?
Hi-hat? So it is
Because
very
of all the
Correct.
like it's very straightforward. Like coming from an observer, right, it's like okay, snare, cymbals and everything. Tom, if you say tribal, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Doom, 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 like George of the Jungle kind of a sound. But hi hat,
Yeah, so hi-hat I think came quite late, if I'm not wrong. So the hi-hat,
Okay.
right, it was intrinsically tied to the kick pedal invention.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So before
since
there was
you
it
can't
was just
need the other.
it was just the normal cymbal on the track. I think back then, right, the cymbals being used with track drums, right, is usually China cymbals. Yeah.
Correct. Because before that was this one.
Yeah, correct.
Right, instead of like hitting it.
Yeah, correct.
Like you mentioned, it was just like in bands. It just
Yeah, and so that one, right, they condense it to put it with the kick drum actually.
Okay.
Then if you go Google, right, trap drums, right, you'll see one big ass bass drum. Then you can see a cymbal that is like attached with a string from the top of the rim to the bottom there. So when the beater hit, right, you hit.
Sorry, I'm just
Yeah.
thinking like last time, hey guys, let's hit the cymbal, but I want the attack to be clean.
Yeah.
They
No,
have
then there should be some arguments, right? Are you crazy?
Yeah,
This
crazy.
doesn't work,
Yeah.
man.
then now it's like just close lah.
But they didn't mention how the hi-hat came about though. But imagine, you look at the bass drum, right? There's one from one string, a small cymbal is like dangling, and it's very near where the beater is gonna hit.
Okay.
Just imagine that. That's how the one cymbal is completed. Then
Like you have to attack twice, so you have to kill them.
I assume so lah. I think there's a way also to like move the cymbal one side also. Yeah. I think I had some picture when I went to LA, right? That time 2020, I had a few pictures of this drum shop. They had trap drums
Okay.
on display. Maybe you can find picture. If
I since Syam has said that this one should be another episode where we discuss about the evolution of music. I think this is kind of cool. Yeah.
Okay,
what's my
back to
point?
what was
the question? You asked me.
The point is, what is the advantage and disadvantage of having a big and small
Alright,
kit?
so I was getting there. Okay, so the first modern drum set, right, that we recognize, right, is probably one rack tom, one floor tom, one hi-hat, and one crash. I think that's the most basic
and
one.
one kick drum lah.
One kick drum. I think.
Okay.
You think kick drum?
I
didn't.
you missed out, yeah.
Okay, I missed out. Yeah, kick drum. So it's only one rack tom. I don't know when people was vying to see who has the biggest kit, right? They started adding more and more rack toms. That is how.
Okay.
Yeah. So to me, right, when I decided to go for one rack tom, I thought maybe try to go back to the roots a little bit lah. Instead of two rack toms, go with the original form, which only had one rack tom.
Okay.
That's my knowledge. I mean, any drummers out there, right? If I'm wrong, please let me know. I might be wrong. Yeah, but that was my assumption at the point of time. Yes. So advantage, disadvantage. Yeah. Basically, that's it lah.
That's
okay.
quite insightful lah. And then it segue to another episode that we will create later, which is interesting.
We will like format as we go along.
All things music, guys.
Okay, so let's talk about a little piece of heaven.
Yes.
Also, acronym ALPOH.
ALPOH.
Yeah. So ALPOH, right? When I listened to City of Evil, I quite liked it. I listened to the whole album actually. So a few standouts like City of Evil, Brompton Cocktail. What's the other one? There's one song very long, also 8 minutes. Something about soldier or something or war. I forgot title. Let me check quickly. Okay, then after that, right, when it came to 2 years later, the self-titled, it felt a bit more heavy rock, heavy metal kind of stuff, a bit more butt rock. Missing in Action, MIA. That was the last song.
Missing in Action.
Seize the Day from City of Evil also. You know, seize the day.
Yeah.
Seize the day, not pretend it's the time go on. It's a body down. Beast in the Harley. Beast in the Harley.
Oh man, Syam, you're missing out, man. You're missing out.
Yeah, it all came from MTV. Imagine MTV promoting Avenged Sevenfold. But back, if I'm not wrong, right?
Back then it
MTV,
wasn't like the hardest. Was it like like
it was quite
shock?
hard compared for
MTV,
MTV at one time. But the thing is, right, after years later, I realized, right, actually Avenged Sevenfold, they are quite acclaimed already for their own scene. But because MTV, right, it's not a big representation of it's not of popular music at the point of time. So having Avenged Sevenfold break into that scene in a way was quite a breakthrough, I feel.
I see.
Yeah, because they were more into the underground, hardcore, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, so going into the next album, which is a self-titled, right? It felt a bit draggy, metal, butt rock kind of thing. It was weird. I didn't get into it. It was only when Avenged Sevenfold came to Singapore. It was, if I'm not wrong, because apparently Avenged Sevenfold came to Singapore before that. I think that was in 2011, if I'm not wrong. 2011, Avenged Sevenfold came to Singapore. 2012, I can't remember which. 2012. Came Singapore. At the point of time, the ref already passed away. Yeah, and they had the replacement drummer called Aaron Elaje. Aaron Elaje. I don't know who he was lah, but it was quite sad because I think Avenged came before that, but I didn't go because I think I was a big fan of them, and that was when the ref came. Yeah, and it was quite nice. I mean, I listened to Waking the Fallen and all that stuff, some of the songs. And then when they played the songs from the self-titled, right, I'm like, I didn't get into this shit. I don't know what happened at the point of time. Was it the atmosphere? I got my head knocked a few times. Barely starting already, people pushing. There was someone smoking in the crowd. It was very squeezy. This was at Coliseum. Coliseum.
I think it's just a change of perspective.
I guess so. I guess so. It was 3 or 4 years after that one.
It's like one of the last songs that they played.
Label of Heaven? Yes, actually. So, what's the last song? One of the last songs. I think one of the last songs. I can't remember if they did an encore. If it was just an encore, right? ALPOH is definitely the last song.
Okay.
Yeah. So, what else I want to say? Yeah. I don't know. I just like fuck with it lah. I don't know why that some of the songs from the self-titled actually resonated with me. So something I want to say about Lepers of Heaven. So you guys don't know about the history behind the song, right? Okay, I'll give you guys the history.
I kind of know a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Which part?
I mean I kind of know what the song is about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. This one is from my ignorant perspective, from just listening to the lyrics. So I feel like the song is about somebody who. Okay, this is my perspective. Somebody who loves another person so much, but somehow he managed to kill that person, and then because he wants to be with that person in the afterlife, right? He also kills himself, and then somehow they manage to spend the afterlife together, something like that. Is that?
Are you looking at lyrics now?
No.
Okay.
Because it's kind of dark, right? The lyrics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, you're somewhat right. I actually, okay, if you must know, right, I'm not the best person of like interpreting lyrics.
I mean,
I'm not a best. Yeah, I'm looking at lyrics now. Okay. Yeah. So based on what Zan said, right? Anything from the lyrics stand out to you to relate to what he said?
based on the live versions, that's what, like, he talks about it being a love song lah, it being a love song and kind of like about necrophilia and also, you know, about murder. So it kind of like fits to what Zan is saying.
Yeah.
So.
The one that actually stands out the most is where there was a spoken word part where they said, can you go it down? Some more?
Like the marriage.
Yeah. Do you take
this
this
man?
Yeah.
Okay, so I had to revise. So apparently, right, for this album, the band self-produced themselves.
Okay.
So they released a couple of documentaries. So they released two. One just after the album was released, that was around 2008, 2009. Then they did a look back like last year, looking back at how their production was like.
Right.
Talking
nice.
back, yeah. I watched both just now, just to refresh my memory. I remember watching the first one. I don't think I watched the second one. So apparently they said, right, so this album, right, actually not this album, I think this song itself, the drummer who passed away, he wrote the song mostly by himself, start to finish. So in preparation for this album, right, apparently all of them, they self-isolated to get away from the noise from their families and then to write songs lah. So apparently the ref, right, he actually had this idea. So he came to the studio one day, he told the engineer or one of the guys, can you put a track on the piano and start recording? So he just played the piano, whatever. Okay, can you start recording. Put a track on the drum. Start playing the recording the drum. So he recorded the drums following the piano track.
Okay.
And then somehow they got the structure, and then he started mouthing some lyrics over it and melody. Yeah.
So it came from like a very small idea and then it slowly expanded and expanded. Is it?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
So I just watched the documentary. You guys can watch later, like if you want to.
Can we have the
Link.
Thank you,
link
Syam.
below.
Okay.
Every time we ask for links, right, then it just makes Syam's okay. Thank you, Syam.
Where our links? You guys can see our links, right? It's better.
Anyway, right, for all the links, right, you all have to thank Syam. We have to thank Syam because
Yeah, I have to
every
put in,
link, right, every link we ask and request, right, he will have to do a bit more work.
But I think last episode got more links.
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
yeah.
This one we try to reduce.
Sorry, Brian. Okay.
Okay, I don't bastard, but Brian says for fun.
Here's Brian again.
Okay, so
sharing his dreams.
okay, so lyrics wise, right? So apparently he wrote the lyrics. He had this idea. So you can hear the song is very theatrical, correct? So break down the lyrics, right? So apparently the lyrics is that this guy, he loves his woman so much, he killed her and buried her and had his way with her. So there's some part about what now that you're sleeping, you feel so much better, can go so much deeper or something. I forgot.
Yeah, something about warm ties.
Yeah, after that. So apparently, but the twist is that, right, the woman came back to life. Yeah, and then killed him. And then started like, what the fuck? Why you kill me? But then she also loves him, and then killed him back. And then they became like the undead, get married together in the afterlife. So that's why the bridge. The bridge is the wedding vows. Yeah, and live happily ever after.
I see. Ladies, that's ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, not ladies only. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a toxic relationship.
When she comes back, she comes back. You know.
Oh, that's interesting, huh?
But the standout line for me is like, must have step 50 fucking times.
Then eat it.
It's very detailed. It's
very
like
detailed.
if you ask me, there's no. I mean, I would not say there's no subtext lah, but it's just.
It's quite literal, right?
Yeah, it's quite literal.
Oh, that means it's very similar to Rhyme with Asian Mariner, the old school storytelling. Back to first episode, the lyrical context even.
Spoken word also, they have like the spoken word side.
Correct.
And I assume A7X is inspired by Iron Maiden.
Oh no, okay. So right, this song, they felt this was the whenever the community generation, right, none of the members actually felt like going through with this song in the beginning.
Okay.
But I felt like so much work. It felt like because the ref, right, when he was creating this song, he did not really tell the rest, okay, I want the song to be like this. He just went along and just did it, and then people just I think it was him and M Shadows, the vocalist, Matt Shadows. He started like, okay, this song seems like I feel like I can vibe with this song. I feel like this song should be completed so that I know how it sounds like. The rest were like just bystanders, like, what are you doing, man? You know, yeah. And suddenly when the project evolved, right, more stuff in orchestral stuff, additional vocals, all the spoken word stuff. Because there was no spoken word stuff. All last minute
Before
addition.
this, what about like the orchestral stuff? Like, did they have?
No,
like,
wasn't planned. I think the ref had, but then the orchestra, they hired someone, and the person hired someone else.
Okay.
Yeah, the person so they hired this they hired a guy to do the orchestra whatever. Then the guy, he asked another guy to help do the horn arrangements. This guy who did the horn arrangements, right, is actually Danny Elfman's right hand man.
Who is Danny?
Danny Elfman is a composer for movies. Yeah, for who's the other famous composer again?
Hans Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer. So he's like this guy. So
Okay.
Danny Elfman, he
his
does
face
for
looks familiar.
Tim Burton, Sam Raimi,
Charlie and the Chocolate
Batman,
Factory.
Edward Scissorhands, Charlie Chocolate Factory,
Okay.
Dumbo, Spider-Man, Google
so it
Hunting,
fits,
Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness. Wow.
Simpson also.
Simpsons, 50 Shades of Grey, Man
Simpsons,
in Black. So he's done a
Okay.
lot of shit. Yeah, so that's why he evolved, and then they started getting a choir, all that shit. Yeah. Okay, but all this started, right, back a bit, the ref, right, because they felt it was so not Avenged Sevenfold, the ref had this side band called Pinkley Smooth, together with the guitarist Sinister Gates.
Okay.
So Pinkley Smooth is described as, according to Sinister Gates' words, goblin metal.
Goblin metal.
Yeah. So, but I saw Wikipedia, right, it's called Avant-Garde.
Okay.
Very avant-garde. There's one song. Maybe you can listen later if you got time. I know one song. Yeah. So they felt like it was so weird, and then there's like they don't mind that he bring in some stuff from another band, because again they said we write whatever we want. That was good. I felt that makes them evergreen. They don't typecast themselves into a single any genre. Yeah, it's very evident in this album. So but it was challenging because now them I think especially the vocalist, he said he didn't know how to write lyrics or sing for this kind of songs.
Okay.
But it was a challenge for him. Yeah. And then what else I want to say? Yeah, so it was only him, the drummer and the guitarist was in the other band, knew how to approach this kind of sound. For the rest, it was very new to them. Yeah, and then when it evolved, right, they started bringing in the horn arrangements. The guitar sound, I feel like the documentary, right, didn't cover much about the other instruments like the guitar, bass, whatever, and the drums. It was mostly the orchestral stuff.
Yeah, because
New
that's
stuff,
the
Yeah.
the newer stuff,
thing,
Correct.
like something distinctive.
Correct. I think they did say it was the first time they started using orchestral stuff. So orchestra, horn section, choir, and then the stupid throwaway lines like laughing, shouting. Come here, you fucking bitch! There's one line. Yeah. And the 50 fucking times, right? If I don't know whether you watch, you don't watch the live, right? But you watch the live, right? It's actually Ref singing it, not anyone else.
Oh, okay.
It was Ref singing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Quite cool, lah. It's quite cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Come here, Sam, you 50 fucking times. You gotta leave it. Yeah. Then it's like you watch the live also, right? All of them had their own lines also.
I see.
Yeah, to compensate for because there's a lot of throwaway lines. They like gang vocals or whatever.
Yeah.
I would say that this song, right, in terms of the orchestration and the arrangement of the song, even I think the time taken to record it, right, I would say for it, even if it takes you 4 minutes, it's already a lot of work. Imagine this is 8 freaking minutes, man.
They went to like two, 3 different studios for each, like orchestra different studio, horn section a different studio, choir different studio. Yeah.
I mean, of course, if you have the budget, then why not, right? Do this. Of course, you need to have a good
Back
idea,
then,
so lah.
This came out the third album, man. So they kind of already
Fourth.
They already
Fourth.
had-
Yeah, they actually had some access already at that point in time. They're not that new.
Yeah.
But I think they save. I do why they save money lah. They save money by not hiring a producer. They produce themselves.
Yeah.
They just only hire sound engineer,
lah.
all that stuff.
I think it's a good reflection because number one, okay, I'm not saying like you should have a producer lah. But if you don't have a producer, like it also gives the band more liberty.
Correct.
Which is a good reflection of what the song is. They just have this kind of I would say not restrictions lah, but it's kind of like they all came together. Like you mentioned the ref came up with this idea that okay, why not we add song from the other band.
Correct.
So I think it kind of helped a bit that there's no producer and they produce
Yeah.
themselves.
I think the introduction of a producer, right, it's only viable if the band itself, right, does not know which direction to go.
Correct,
If the band
correct.
already has some form of direction of what they want the sound to be, maybe they have some mixing reference, and in terms of songwriting they already got shit down, right, then maybe having a producer might not be the ideal thing to do.
makes sense,
Yeah, but I think for newer bands, try to get someone's external advice lah.
Yeah, even if it's not a producer, right,
Yeah.
you maybe should ask your, I don't know, your friends about.
Yeah,
about the
criticism is always
sound.
helpful.
Yeah.
Feedback is always helpful.
Correct.
Yep.
Sometimes it's hard to listen to feedback, but I think that's just our ego on the in the way, right? So
Yeah.
sometimes you just have to put aside our ego and
Sorry,
listen
Syam,
to-
our song's too short.
yeah. Syam actually said that Boden songs are way too short.
Yeah, you see Little Bits of Heaven like 8 minutes, Decline 80 minutes. Boden.
Okay, but
like,
respect to Avenge and NOFX. How the fuck do they play these songs live?
man.
For this period of time, I can't, man. What the fuck?
Yeah.
18 minutes.
Yeah. Imagine Syam, Shak, we take our one song, right, and then we play the riffs, right, the double of that time. I think we would just be dead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Everything. Is there anything else I want to say about this song? Yeah, watch the
the live one.
not only live one, but
The
the behind the scenes
documentary, yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
seriously.
So 2 documentaries for you guys today already.
Yeah.
That'll be our next episode.
Yeah, man.
Conversation.
Right. Yeah.
What else I want to say? I think
History of
that's
drums.
it for now. Maybe I'll think about it later, but I think that's what I
Okay.
say for now.
Syam, you want to go first?
Will Sam be like the middle person? Because you
Yeah, of course he doesn't know. Wait, we still talking about Invisible Heaven, right?
Yeah, a little
Okay.
piece of heaven, yeah.
Okay. Well, Little Bits of Heaven, like, okay, Avenged Sevenfold. I never got into Avenged Sevenfold. I never have.
Boo. No, just okay.
So quit lah. No, but I think whatever you guys spoke about, right? Like how if you're talking about the drum kits and everything, I think that's hugely, if you're going back to my roots and everyone's roots, right? It's the idea of like punk and metal, kind of like how it's similar in some sense, but it's so different in another sense. Like when we talk about like we said, like all this kind of stuff. Playing like drums, for example. For example, you take the drums lah, and then you have like 2 rack toms lah, how many rack toms and whatnot. But then simplicity in punk is always that lah. It's like 1 tom. So that's how I kind of like I never got attracted to that side. Like as I grew up, I can respect the musicality of it lah. Like, you know, they have an 8-minute song. They have like kind of like the storytelling in terms of how they got the songs. But when I Avenged Sevenfold, it's I think in my time, right, it was like 2007, 2008 they got popular before the passing of the ref lah. And then back in my school, like in secondary school that time, like I was
Your first song bass.
first song bass.
Your first song bass or bass and first song?
Was a bit, it was a followed by song. But I did had to like imagine that was my first instrument and like 1 year.
Your first band, sorry. The
My first-
you said you got invited to a band, you said you
Yeah, I had to play. I kind of forgot, but
Chapter 4.
they are on Facebook. I forgot who asked me to play for a while. Hey, Syam, you can play bass because apparently nobody plays bass
Yeah.
at that time. And they're like, huh, really? Then like,
Nobody plays bass now, so I think.
true. I also changed.
It's so unglamorous, man. Why do you want to play
Yeah.
bass?
No, but then like because I started playing like pop punk, big
Okay.
bass, and I still play lah, but it's straightforward. So I played provide the bass lines for the bands. So when they say that, finally this guy can play bass, can you play Avenged Sevenfold? Then like, okay, can try lah.
Yeah.
Then I think the first song I had to play was either Nightmare or Chapter 4.
Chapter 4, you told me chapter 4.
Chapter 4,
You
yeah.
told us in the previous
Yeah,
episode.
then I remember like, I remember the jamming studio was like, I can only remember the starting only. That's it. And the rest, like, you know, I would just put out so like 3 notes.
You know that part where they do the king?
Yeah.
Actually, it's kind of hard, you know, at the
It's
point of
tricky.
time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
but that was quite fun because it's I think me and my that time band we kind of like that was like for that metal band. Then I brought that song over to like my pop punk band, and then like, hey guys, you just play this version but in a pop punk version. Yeah, it sounded quite fun. I was like, damn. We somehow mix chapter 4 into Damn It, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, somehow lah. But okay, that back to Avenged Sevenfold.
Wait. Do you guys want to see Syam play that?
No,
If you want, please comment down below. He will have
Link.
to do a cover.
Here's Brian's photo for
Distraction.
No, just Brian playing bass.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Brian's playing bass.
Or posing for bass.
Another bassist. Number 2. But yeah, Avenged Sevenfold. Well, I was like listening to like Blink and Green Day during that time, like learning like chords and everything. Everybody was like, or most of the bands were like
I
playing.
have a question. At this point of time, right? How long have you been playing your bass?
I started playing bass when I was 14.
And this time, at this point of time, was
15.
that's 1 year. And you only
1 year.
play like a band sevenfold. Seriously.
Because when I was that time, right, I think my so-called band, we didn't like play shows and whatnot, but we were the only bands that played. We were only bands that like, you know, like almost every week went to jamming studios. So other bands like other people like, hey, you just want to do that. So I'm not saying we started lah, but like we were one of the few that survived through secondary school.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't have a band name. We just played mostly Blink stuff.
I see.
Yeah.
Segue a bit. What was the jamming studios you go to?
Club.
Club
Paradise
Paradise
in Tampines.
Tampines.
Shout out to Bronson.
Who's still alive apparently.
Bronson something.
Bronson Theo, I
He's
think,
on my
yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah, so it's a I been there also last couple of times.
I think you all talked a bit.
We talked about it that time. Yeah,
It used to be like $14 per hour. Yeah, $14.
That was a higher end. No, that's a middle one, middle price tier.
Yeah.
The highest one was like 16, if I'm not wrong.
Wow.
Yeah,
The lowest is like Willy, $10. $10,
$10, $12, that
shitty.
kind. Yeah, this was what year again?
2007.
2007, yeah. Circa
It's
2007.
like a shitty amp, but you can like rent like a pedal for like $1 or $2.
Yeah.
Just to like, you know.
Oh man.
But the drum kits, rabak.
Yeah.
I mean, the drum kits were quite
I
bad.
mean, almost all the studios that we have last time, the drum kits are always the one that's lackluster, right?
But back then it was quite funny when I looked at Willy. I don't know whether it's still around, but it intrigued me because they had so many rooms. Then back then they're like quantity over quality. YOLO. We have so many rooms, so
Really,
more
is
chance to
Bedok or
jam.
Changi?
Willy is the one at Aljuinate, right?
I know Willy is the one pretty close to Simei. Or Bedok lah, but it's very close, like close proximity.
But
to
it's not the one that you see at
Simei.
Junior? No.
No, it's
The
not the
one-
Aljuinate one.
I don't know. Maybe it's a different one. It's a different same name.
Man,
Same
I
name
don't
but
know,
different?
man.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember there's one in Changi, it smells like piss, yeah. The entrance of the jamming studio smells like piss, and then the aunties behind like
Changi?
Changi industrial area or Tampines industrial area, I forgot which one. So the auntie, the counter right is behind like barricade. You know when you go to jewel store, you want to pay the counter,
yeah.
like that kind.
Oh.
Yeah, then can rent pedals also behind her.
That looks.
Yeah.
That sounds like Willy at
Really?
Aljuinate, yeah.
No, it's industrial area.
Huh?
Industrial area. I remember.
Legitimate.
If
Okay,
I'm
the
not
one I
wrong, the
know
aunties always
is near
piss.
Changi General Hospital.
Wow, we got.
I
three
think
different
that one.
Willy.
I think
That one.
Smells like piss, yeah. the place.
I don't know about.
Oh, the
about
stairwell.
place,
Sorry,
ah.
the stairwell. The smells like piss.
I don't know about the thing. But they had a few, you know, like distortion pedals, right?
Yeah.
They're like, alamak, this band using distortion pedal.
Last time the shit was Metal Zone.
Metal Zone. Boss Metal Zone.
But then if the low tier would be, what is it? The red one, the distortion pedal, the
DS1.
yeah,
DS1, yeah.
They're like, alamak, they're like, get this one.
Boss also?
Somebody. Boss
I
also.
thought Boss is orange color.
Oh, orange.
Oh yeah, not red. Yeah.
It's orange.
Oh, the red one is
orange.
another. And the red one is.
Oh, red one is it the Mega Distortion or something like
No,
that?
it's just distortion, but it's this brand that's like this like horseshoe shape, with very shitty
The
like.
horseshoe shape is a shape of the pedal, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I forgot what brand.
Or is it
Joyo.
Joyo? Is it Dan Electro?
Yeah,
Dan
the
Electro,
electro.
yeah.
Yeah, the electro. Yeah, I remember. Oh, they did the cheap
yeah, the
bass
bass.
also. They have
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
don't bash on Dan Electro, man.
Is it?
Because the
but I like
bass
the bass,
player
yeah.
for the
Bass.
next band that we are going to talk about is
Oh yeah,
Dan
they,
Electro.
I mean, like even the bass player for that band also like criticized lah. It was like, this is a cheap bass. Yeah, but that was I remember that was like the lower end pedal. They're like nobody. Alamak, only left with this pedal. So, but Willy was. Going back, Avenged Sevenfold was the band that, if you listen to like punk rock or you listen to like metal, so it was split. But we didn't care. Like, it wasn't like a war rap. It's just like
Okay.
You listen to this music, then okay.
So
then-
it's like a mix between the two, is it?
Kind of lah, like back then when we were all listening to like pop punk and punk rock, right? Then some of my friends were like lean towards that metalcore,
Yeah.
but a few of us would like listen to like more in depth with the punk rock scene. So I kind of like go into that route lah. Yeah, but it's kind of, I know the appeal was a bit different. Again, going back to what you guys what I said about what you guys said, it's the appeal of, you know, the theatrics of it, the having so many like different parts of instruments, whereas like punk rock is like, okay, whatever you have. So that's kind of like appeal to me more. Mainly because like, you know, nobody got.
Yeah.
I never heard of 5-string bass. It's all 4-string bass.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's all like simple. Like the shots are always the songs are always short.
Yeah.
Like if you go look at like punk rock bands like Ramones and like, which is weird because the songs are always like 2 minutes, 2 minutes plus, but then they play non-stop. So it's kind of like the opposite, but the same as metal in a way.
Sorry.
I'll say ALPOH is not representative of Avenged Sevenfold as a whole at that point of time.
Yeah.
Because it was a one-off thing where even the rest of the bands didn't like, what the fuck are we going to do this song? It's like 8 minutes. Rest of the band, and because if I remember correctly, right, Avenged Sevenfold also grew up with DIY roots, metalcore and all that, yeah. So I don't know how the rest suddenly got very kesiao or crazy as shit to write this kind of song.
Yeah, it could be
it was really
influence,
one-off thing, yeah.
Yeah, but that's why I'm not saying I disrespect other bands, but I respect Avenged Sevenfold more because of that. Because like you guys talk about it, they have different kinds of sounds in the repertoire.
Yeah.
Like almost every album has little changes, and it's not just sonically, but it's also how they treat the albums. You know, like from producer to self-produce. And I think Shak and I talk about this so many times about bands that have, I don't know what's the word, but the legitness of bands playing music. Like some bands really you can tell they can last for a few years or they can last long. Look at Avenged Sevenfold lah. I mean they still play music and they still producing even after the ref also lah. So I mean NOFX also lah, like more than 40 years they're playing. So sonically maybe playing the same music or different music, but at least they kind of like evolve. Doesn't have to be sonically, but in the way they see the music. So Little Piece of Heaven, when you guys talk about it last episode, I've never heard of it. So coming in, it was super fresh. And as I shared lah, I like to watch the live ones. Okay, this don't bash on my criticism of the song. But when I listened to the live one compared to the Spotify version, I thought the Spotify version with the theatrics was quite funny. It was like, now I can hear whatever the ref was singing clearly. They're like, it's like
it stood out to you way more lah.
It felt like not as dangerous or not as like powerful as live.
Okay.
It's like 50 fucking times, and then like in the live version, 50 fucking. It's like it's very clear that it's weird. It's like, you get what I mean? It's like
it's weirder when you listen to it to a Spotify one.
Like very clean. I can hear everything.
I see.
So that's a bit like maybe. I mean, I'm not saying it like lowers the song, but it's kind of like it's a different thing. It's like it's like I wipe my lens and then now I see it. But it's funny because the song is if I were to put it in a genre, it's like let's say it's a horror, but this time it's like I can see everything.
Yeah.
Whereas like the live version is like a dark room. Like I have to guess where this song goes, and then they can do anything.
Yeah, so FYI, right, when looking to the documentary, when you're mixing, the requirements they said, right, the mixer said, right, I'll make sure that you guys can hear every single thing on the record, like all the bassoon, horn instruments.
In the recorded
the recorded one. Yeah,
okay,
so I think that's where it came out.
Yeah,
So,
because technically when you produce, right, you mix it professionally as compared to live, right, everything must stand out, right?
Correct.
It's clearer, so maybe that's the reason why.
Yeah. So I'm not saying like it's a bad recording. It's just that because I heard the live version and it's like it's maybe like the bassoon or everything it's kind of like mixed.
the tuba, French horn,
but I receive it as a whole.
Yeah.
Whereas this one is like starting already like the instrumental, the laugh, it's like
they played in live, right? They only play pre-recording only. They never play live in orchestra if I'm not wrong. Yeah, but that's very loud.
That's loud.
Anyway,
the condenser is picking it up.
we have a new mic, say guys.
we have a new mic,
You guys cannot see it.
Yeah.
Comment if you want to see it behind the scenes.
Brian.
Don't you realize that the condenser is slowly shifting to the left somehow?
Oh my god.
Oh
my god.
That's so funny.
As long as no, I don't see it.
No, touch it. But yeah, okay. Coming to the song, I didn't feel like it's a long song, to be honest, because it is compared to like the next song we're gonna talk about, The Decline and Rime of the Ancient Mariner. It feels like it's just a longer song of a song because there isn't too many parts. And for me, especially the live version, I fucking love the chorus. Yeah. The chorus hits way harder every single time.
The one.
Have my heart. Yeah.
It's for a new
because it's. If you want to, for me, right, it's like I don't think it's like a metal song. It's just a very it's a love song.
You have to listen very clearly to hear the guitar and the solos.
It's beautiful, man.
It's just it has a super nice chorus that like all the small parts can be like heavy lah, or can be like very little. So that the chorus comes in, it's like, it's like every time, I think the first time I listened to it, it's like, oh shit, the chorus again, chorus again, like, you know. And the way they ended with a chorus, I believe so, they ended with a chorus.
Yeah. Dude, when you tell me about the chorus, right, my body suddenly feels very fuzzy.
Yeah, it's
I feel you.
Hey.
I'm getting goosebumps, dude.
I want to add on to your point about it being a love song. You're also fucking right. Actually, this one
It is a love song.
It's a love song.
Shak and I had this conversation about another song also. I told him it's like, it's a love song.
First episode, I can't remember which, but yeah.
Smoke break.
Smoke break.
Oh,
Yeah,
Smoke Break,
yeah. So it felt like the first song is very theatrical. Yes, a very, I think one of the guys said carnival, very carnival kind of feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the chorus is really love song.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that the ref made these two things work seamlessly. I a bit mind blown about it, but mind fuck, like how the fuck this happened? Like having carnival, then suddenly you have the size slow moving part, you kind of feel like
actually,
it.
right, Shak, to add on to that, right, in terms of the music, the arrangement, the harmonic content of it, right, it makes a lot of sense musically about why the chorus, right, feels like so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which I will talk about later lah.
Like a release, is it?
Yeah, it's like a release. Yeah.
Yeah, because I live for what's how the thing start? Sorry, how does the piano start again? Okay, compare that with the chorus.
More for like
how the fuck do you connect these two things together? They're so different.
Yeah, but I think it's like a very I don't know how I see it's like how I perceive it is like a busy melody piano, but for vocals it's like sing along. It's very singable. It's very like.
You want me to tell you a bit about what is it?
Go ahead.
So like you know the first part of the song where it feels very horror like, like very uncomfortable, right? Actually, the whole song, right, is just one key, surprisingly, but the keys, right, that they use it's freaking weird, man. Like they have diminished chords that opposes the normal how to say, like melodic minor or harmonic minor keys. So they keep on changing these kind of modes and scales, right? So it makes you feel like even more tense, right? Like that time we talked about Blood in My Eyes, they actually use only one scale change, which is harmonic minor, right? This one, right, they have harmonic minor, they have the tritone scale, they have the melodic minor scale.
The tritone scale never before.
Oh, you know
I would just like just
the tritone scale is the one that, you know, if you listen to Black Sabbath, right, they have this flat 5, the like I don't know how to I don't have perfect pitch, so I cannot sing it.
Dark, is it?
Yeah, it's just very dark, right?
Okay.
And then they keep on changing into all these scales, right? After they make you feel all this
like
uneasiness, dissonance, right? Then suddenly they throw to you, right?
That's why the chorus.
The chorus, which is in natural minor, which is something that all of us, right, are used to.
Okay.
So that's the reason why you can feel
What's a natural minor? I know major minor lah, but let's say you say tritune lah.
So minor, right? Like the natural minor, right, is the minor that you think of.
The
normal minor,
conventional one.
the conventional one. So
okay.
after they put you through all this torture, right, in your ears, right, then suddenly they give the chorus. So it suddenly feels like, this is something that I can vibe.
And that is a chorus,
Okay. Then after the chorus, this song's not over yet. We're gonna throw back everything back in you.
Correct. It's quite nice. It feels very rewarding.
That's the thing, because they play the verse and the pre-chorus for so long, right? It makes you tense even longer, and then when the reward starts, which is the chorus, right, then it feels even better.
I don't know whether this is only the live version or whether I perceive it differently, but it felt like the last chorus, right, to the live version was a bit slower, which made it even more.
Oh yeah, so
I think so. But that's why I felt it's like, whoa, it's it. I didn't not say I didn't sing along, I didn't hum along. I followed along in a way. It's like my brain, I didn't hum it, but it's like in my head.
Oh, and another thing that they do is that the verse, right, you know, they want to add the spooky vibe, right?
Yeah.
Remember that time in Blood in My Eyes, what they did in the verse in terms of time? They changed it to 6/4, right?
Yeah.
They did the same here, so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so there's like the little feel.
Okay, I never take note of
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Yeah, I think in another episode, maybe we go through Zan's version of how do you count?
We should check. Shucks,
I don't know what.
No, I mean like Shak, maybe you can like play drums.
Just for everybody's information, right? Whenever Shak and I want to do like some odd time stuff, we will sit down with a piece of paper and then we write down all the subdivisions.
Yeah.
Quick maths.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. One thing I want to add on, right? Because we're talking about all the minds and stuff and spooky vibe, right? Apparently, the beginning of the documentary, right, opens up with, so Little Heaven is actually a song originally written by another guy.
Okay.
on piano.
Okay.
You guys want to listen?
Yeah.
Again, adjust a little bit.
Wait, let me try. I'm trying to find. There's a thing. Okay, wait, maybe I just play this one. So you see, Okay. Yeah, so that's the original actually. Yeah.
That by itself is already not like a minor that we are used to already. Yeah.
It's very
tense,
yeah,
very dissonant. But then at the same time, right, it makes sense, right? Because when they resolve it, right, they resolve it to something that we are familiar with also. Yeah. I wanted to say something, I cannot remember. Shit. Oh yeah. Syam, are you done with your comments about this? Because I have some.
The last thing you talked about was the love song. The chorus. You chorus.
Yeah. Sorry, I stole your thunder, man.
But okay, like I can only say coming clean, like coming into this clean. I think that's just it's. If I were to compare between the I Maiden song, I think this one is definitely more. Shorter is one thing, but like going back to what I said, it feels like it's just not a long song. It's a longer version of a normal song.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. It's just more chorus and then building up, release, building up, release. So where Isha Mariner was like different segments.
Right.
So the only part that I don't want to say sticks out, but kind of nice was the bridge. When they had like
the vowels, is it?
Yeah.
Spoken word, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like pretty cool. It's like it's at least it's not copy paste. It changed things a bit. And then the final chorus kind of this is not even talking about the lyrics. The lyrics is another thing. When I paid attention to lyrics, it's like, there's more depth to it. But other than that, I will the thunder I give back to you.
Okay, thank you, man. Anyway, I wanted to interrupt just now, but then I decided to just let Syam roll first, right? It's because I know, Syam, you're younger than me. But then at this point of time where you pick up the pick up the bass, right? It's actually the time where I started playing guitar and started singing also. So now, right, you are singing and playing guitar and playing bass. So you kind of like role reversal.
Yeah. So you guitar first.
Okay. Yeah, I was a guitarist and I did singing also in my school. Yeah, and interestingly, because you all talk about how 2007, 2008, 2009 is where you have Avenged Sevenfold and you have the pop punk stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Why I say last episode was that JC was the time when I was introduced to Mayday Parade.
Okay.
And then I was introduced to Avenged Sevenfold.
Wow.
So
makes sense.
Yeah,
makes sense.
in our school, right? In our school, right, we actually have this Wednesday Wednesday Expressos or something they call it. So they actually set up like a performing space for us. But we cannot play Avenged Sevenfold, right? Because we are using acoustic guitar. So on Wednesdays, right, I will go there and I will sing all those Mayday Parade songs. And what is that? Jumpsuit apparatus and all of those. Then or even boys like girls, yeah. So I will sing all those songs on Wednesday. Then during our jamming days, right, where we go to the studio, right, we will play Avenged Sevenfold.
But it's not different because this is what you're saying. All these are MTV bands also at point in time.
But I didn't know because I didn't watch MTV.
They don't allow you guys to play Avenged Sevenfold.
No, because we only have acoustic guitar.
Actually
Can, but
Warmness on the Soul,
bro. Yes, Warmness on the Soul is the only acoustic. Yeah, and actually I sang the reason why.
The
reason why I got into that band in the first place, right, is because I was in the toilet. Okay, I was in the toilet because in JC, right, you have cubicles for showers and you have cubicles for pooping. Yeah. I was in the shower and I was showering and then I was singing Warmness of the Soul because it's such a beautiful song.
How do you sing the song again? I forgot the melody.
Every move I make. Wow, I'm swinging it. Sorry.
Okay.
Warmness on the Soul links there.
Warmness on the Soul.
Warmness on the Soul is like a very ballady kind of thing. And
it's just piano. If I'm not
wrong. And we had in my band, right, I had a member who can play the Warmness of the Soul on piano. And when I say Expressos, there was a piano there. So we actually sang. Oh, that's the only Avenged Sevenfold song that we sing on Wednesday Expresso. So I kind of get the best of both worlds because I listen to Avenged Sevenfold and I listen to pop punk. Yeah, and then it's interesting now that last time I used to play guitar and sing, and then Syam used to play bass, and then now just roles reversed.
Wait, are you considered a frontman at the point of time?
Considered, yeah.
Okay.
Because at that point of time, right, I wouldn't say
now
I'm
also.
Hey, no.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to complain. I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm a very good singer, but then at that point of time, right, I think out of necessity, I became a singer and the frontman as well, lah. Because at that point of time, I think I had a lot of confidence. I don't know where all my confidence went. Okay. Then, shit. What's the other thing that you said?
What?
You talked about your
my music playing or like the song.
the song,
the journey.
Yeah, the journey.
Well,
You transitioned to pop punk and then you played.
oh yeah, I mean it was like the same one as like the metal, then like the pop punk, and then I went to that pop punk. And
Yeah.
I didn't take any metal, and then bass, wheelie. What else?
Shit. Wow, I'm so forgetful today. I wanted to interrupt because I'm scared.
Cakap
I'm
aje
afraid I
lah,
forget.
just go.
But then I forget already. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Was it the song or about him?
Something about Syam that relates to me a lot. But then I forgot because I
You
didn't.
talking about role reversal.
Yeah, I was talking about
Reversal.
reversal. Then there's something else.
Frontman. Then becoming the same again. It's not really role reversal anymore. There's so many similarities between you guys right now. The musical journey.
Is it?
I don't think it's role reversal anymore.
No. In terms
Is
of instruments.
Similar but different genres.
Instead of
Yeah.
instruments,
Right, similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I cannot remember, man. Let's just go to the
Okay,
next
we'll
one.
get back to it lah later, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I
Alright.
remember.
And as I want to say to wrap up,
Yep.
A Little Piece of Heaven.
Mhm.
Everything out of that now.
Wait, you mean wrap up Little Piece of Heaven?
Yeah.
I would say for those of you guys who have never listened to this song, right? It's good to at least try to listen to it once because it just shows, right, at that point of time how far band can actually push their limits, even though it's kind of out of their genre, but
It's not that normal.
they took what they have, right, and then add more to it.
Yeah.
Right?
Nice. It's pretty cool.
Since you watched the live, right?
Mhm.
Anything you want to reference about the live itself?
Oh, I think the live.
Nothing,
What I already said, yeah. Like what? Like the
But
difference
like
between the live and the
specific point, no, right?
No.
Okay. So we got nothing much to say actually. Okay, can just reminder, watch the documentary, man. Very eye opening.
the documentary and the documentary about Avenged Sevenfold.
Yes,
how
they wrote the song.
song,
Yep. Very,
and
that's
the
very
bass,
interesting.
the drum. The drum, the
drum
documentary.
documentary.
Oh, drum documentary, right? Thank you, documentary. I forgot about that. Yeah. Alright, so now let's go into wait, you want to listen to any part of Little Piece of Heaven or no need? You just move
I think.
You want to?
Do you want to highlight any parts? No, actually we covered everything. So
You want to listen like a part to for the
Chorus
Chorus
if you ever have to
Yeah.
listen, just the
Chorus,
chorus
chorus,
Yeah, it's chorus. At least once. The last chorus Last chorus.
Sorry, so I actually like move the volume a
wait,
bit.
the volume just now before this when I said,
I
is it
forget.
full?
No, it wasn't full, it
crap.
wasn't full. It was around here.
Okay.
Wait, I just
Can you just play it?
Yeah, I think something from here lah. Sorry, wrong song.
Okay, it's good.
Can
It's good.
Okay. Let's Okay, wait. This song has so many parts.
I
right?
love the thighs, but
I
I don't know.
which part is the chorus though. You all say chorus. I don't know which one. I don't have
feel that
define.
one that is like the pre-chorus, then got another pre-chorus.
Yeah.
I confused because when you say like only when you say is or maha, then that's the chorus. I didn't know that was the chorus.
You
man.
had
I feel like this one is also
my
part of the chorus because they suddenly go back to
Correct.
Okay. I just read from this part, yeah.
But I love the thighs lyric. I don't know why. I just like, oh.
Okay, and we're playing go. Oh, this part. I like this part. Awesome, man. So pre-chorus.
Yeah, this chorus.
I
love that.
I know it's not your time, but bye-bye. And a word to the wise, when the fire dies, you think it's over, but it's just begun. But baby, don't cry. You had my heart, at least for the most part. 'Cause everybody's gotta die sometime. We fell apart. Let's make a new start. Oh, 'cause everybody's got
is that pause
Yeah.
Right, is that pause right?
I kind of feel a bit emotional because when you listen to that, right, especially in the group setting, right, it feels like being transported back to JC. Shit, man, I got goosebumps, man.
For me, I was transferred to the time when they played this song live.
Oh man.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Don't worry, we'll just edit that out.
Can ah?
Okay.
Okay.
But what we see just direction what are you talking about?
Okay, you just leave that back in again.
Yeah, sorry,
Guess
that-
the song, guys.
I was trying that point of time, like I didn't know they were actually like play that song. It was my first time hearing that song in full actually.
Yeah.
And apparently right, because my friend, she was there also with me at that point of time. She said right, Zaki Vengeance, the rhythm guitarist,
yeah.
he's the one who actually says the wedding vows at that point of time lah. But instead of saying that right, he actually
Change,
he didn't say that. He said, you know, I mentioned Pinkly Smooth that time just now, right?
Yeah.
So he actually sang a Pinkly Smooth song instead.
Oh,
Yeah.
quite nice.
I think to as a remembrance of the ref lah, who because it was his like he also coming to Singapore second time, but apparently didn't make it.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, this is one of the few times where I can actually feel how music makes you feel.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
That's what I said.
like I don't know what it is. It just transports you back in time, and then it makes you feel certain feelings, right, that you never knew that you were in your heart. Our hearts are black lah, so
Yeah,
really,
but this
makes it a bit weird.
But this is our little piece of heaven.
Yeah, man. Sorry, Shak?
This is our little piece of heaven right here.
Yeah, man.
Damn funny.
Yeah, thanks Hanish for the little piece of heaven
Hey, thank you,
at
Hanish.
Treble Cube.
Thank you.
Alright, forgot to say, thanks to Treble Cube for giving us this
Yeah.
location to
Hanish is not here
link
today.
to the Treble Cube today. So our mystery guest Hanish is not here today, but got rest not ready so but
Hey, kakak.
we should have like ending
Yeah, we should have an ending.
Yeah, let's
For this one?
Just let
For our little piece of
Oh
heaven.
man, this is so unprofessional.
No, but should we say like can show us in next episode or no?
Yeah, we should say amazing aerodynamic armadillos and see you
Okay.
guys next episode.
So
Is it?
we don't have much time right now because it's already 1 hour plus. But we will review The Decline by NOFX in the next episode. You amazing armadillos. And it's a wrap on episode 3 of the hot sauce, and that's been the potato so far.
This is
I said
Shak.
that wrong.
This is
Sharp.
Shak. This is Shak. I am Zan. Bye-bye.
And peace.
Oh, no, hey.